Hello, universe. Welcome to my world. We're doing Angelina Jordan again because we are continually in Angelina Jordan mode. Angelina Jordan is very lucky. She was born with a perfect ear, and she has a family who guide her and inspire her and protect her. And she has one other bit of very good luck. She is very lucky because she has a person who is a great, great help to her. And he will be the co-subject of our video today. His name is Egil Clausen.
My guitarist Egil. We have come all the way from Oslo, Norway.
And he is a Norwegian guitarist. They met in 2014, just a few weeks after she won Norway's Got Talent, and he hooked up with her. This is what he looks like. Are you sitting comfortably? Good. Well, you will need to fasten your seatbelts because we're about to take this to another level. Hey, look who's just walked into the room. It's our main man. Thank you ever so much for doing this, for speaking with me.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Because it's not only my appreciation, but it's appreciation of thousands and thousands of Angelina Jordan fans around the world that you have agreed to be able to do this. I really appreciate this. How did you and Angelina originally hook up?
I got a message from her manager, and I think that I was recommended by someone. I don't know who, or I don't recall. But yeah, I got a message, and they wanted me to join to do just that gig with the Prime Minister. So we had a short rehearsal in my studio for that gig, and we had a good time, and everyone enjoyed each other's company. And yeah, so we just the beginning.
Not only do they play music together, but they play and have fun together, and they bounce off of each other like Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and it's very, very special and delightful to see. Let's have a look and see what it looks like. First, Angelina here is having fun with him, the music, and she's giggling like a little girl because she is a little girl. She was Angelina was 8 years old then, and you were making her laugh, and you were moving your head greatly, and exactly. And can you tell me what you remember about that song or that moment or about that occasion?
Yeah, what a difference they make was one of the first songs we did together. And in that clip that you have in the video, we had asked a friend of mine that I've worked with for many years to join because we were going to do that show in Ålesund. Also, we recorded some Christmas song, I remember, in that same session. Yeah, so it was nice. I think it was maybe the third or fourth times Angelina visited my studio, and it was always a good vibe having her in the studio.
Day There's a rainbow before me. Skies above can't be stormy.
The second clip that I played was from the Brilliant Minds concert, and it was when the two of you did When We Were Young, and Angelina Jordan, and you have a laugh together, and then she breaks into a very, very serious and very, very wonderful song.
Yeah, it's when me and Angelina are meeting up, if it's a gig or just to record some videos for her YouTube channel, we never plan anything, so we just play back and forth. Do you know that song? Do you know that song? And so what is recorded is very, it's always very raw, and a lot of musicians are or the engineers in the studio always record a first take, and the first take can always not always but sometimes be kind of magical because there's you have a lot of tension going on, and you want to do your best. You're very focused, and but of course, in many occasions, you don't maybe there's a song that I've just heard many years ago and I don't know it really, but you just try to do your best, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In some of the clips, you hear that maybe I play a wrong chord or Angelina drops out of the lyrics, but it's mostly for fun, and for Angelina being a young girl, it's important that we keep that fun aspect of working together. And
Okay. Everybody loves the thing you do, from the way you talk to the way you move. Everybody here is watching you, 'cause you feel like home. You're like a dream come true. If I chance your hair alone, can I have a moment before I go?
It's not just the musical skill that Egil has, it's the way he is very, very creatively able to kill time where there's a lot of waiting around, and his creativity with having fun with the child and keeping Angelina entertained. In Norway, there's even a term for well-being plus joy, which is really, really crucial in all of this. Then we have Angelina Jordan fooling around. Egil is being relatively serious, but Angelina Jordan is picking up the fun and running with it. The third clip that I show is an Instagram clip, and I think this is probably my favorite clip, where you're playing the banjo and she is skipping,
yeah,
jumping, and running behind you. You remember that moment as well, do you?
yeah, but I've never seen the clip before. But yeah, we were playing a show in Bergen on the west coast of Norway, and I actually bought the banjo at the airport in Bergen just as we landed. I met up with a guy that I talked to, and I bought that banjo, and it was not included in the show we did, but yeah, of course I wanted to play it as much as possible. So, but it was a funny clip.
You surprised me because you seem very, very skilled with the banjo, and for you to say that you've just picked it up is a big surprise for me.
Thank you.
The next clip where the two of you are having a wonderful time is a very famous clip, and it's the end of the Titanium video, where in the clip that I show, I said with head banging, and you're going like that, and then Angelina cannot control her giggling, and then in the end, you just say in Norwegian, I'm just rocking.
It's a habit that I have, that I just go into this place where I forget everything and everyone.
Do not make excuses for this wonderful habit. You should glorify this habit. This is a wonderful habit. A wonderful habit.
And in the lack of a drummer, you have to keep your the tempo, and I use my body, I use my head. It's the way I play, and I'm not, what is the word? I'm not like embarrassed over that. It's just yeah, I go into the music.
Far away, far away. You shut me down, but I won't fall. Not the you shut me down, but I won't fall. Not the
sitter og rocker, jeg.
Now we're going to look at some of the special concerts and special performances that Angelina and Egil did together. The first one, the acoustics are not very good and the visual is even worse, but it was a very, very special occasion. The next clip that I show is when you and Angelina are performing for the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
I'm sure you remember that moment, yes?
Yeah, it was our first gig together.
Yes. And I'm sure it was well received.
Yeah, very.
I then showed you and Angelina performing in a mall in Allison.
Yeah, I remember it. It was just we flew in and did the show and flew back. I think this was in the almost around Christmas time, and I remember we did another gig. Maybe the same day. It was just like a kind of hectic day. I remember, and yeah, but it was also when you do the shopping malls, it's always a lot of people who wants to do selfies and get autographs, and I remember the security wasn't the best. So
Okay.
so we all did our best to get out of the shopping mall after the performance to catch our flight back to Oslo. So a pretty hectic day.
From what I understand, that in the beginning of a career, especially with the child singer, you do a lot of shopping malls.
Yeah, usually that's a way to go when you're promoting yourself as an artist. But Angelina kind of skipped that part because after Norwegian Got Talent, she was already at the stage where she could do bigger venues, and it took some time before she released her own material. So, and that is also a big part of doing those shopping malls gigs, is because you have something to promote, release, or and she didn't have that, so we didn't do much of them. But yeah, I think Olsen is the only one.
South Korea concerts that you did together.
It was a nice one.
It's quite exciting to be able to tour the world in a situation like that. Now, the clip I actually show, you and her are doing Bang Bang together. The crowd are a little bit noisy in South Korea.
Yeah, it was a huge festival, and if you're doing unplugged gig at a big festival, it's kind of risky business because people are there to have fun and to maybe have some drinks and sing along, and so doing only guitar and voice is a risky business, but it worked out fine. She did a couple of songs using a backing track as well to make the set a little bit more up tempo, and we did some versions of some songs we hadn't done before. So, and I think from my point of view, the audience was very nice. They were. It's not easy to be quiet for a half an hour, 45 minutes when you're out with your friends in an open air festival drinking beer.
She comes over as being very professional even then, and she handles all situations really well. She's very composed in a situation like that.
Definitely.
I was 5 and he was 6. We rode horses made of sticks. He were black and I were white. He were always when the fire bang bang.
Next, we'll be looking at a cross-section of different songs that they have played together. They've had dozens and dozens. And we Angelina Jordan fans are ever so grateful to Egil for this whole long series of cover songs, which has been preserved for posterity for our enjoyment and our enlightenment. The next two clips, which I show, I believe are in your studio, and I describe them both because you are swaying to the music as you're playing. The first one is "Can't Help Falling in Love with You."
As I mentioned earlier, we don't necessarily plan anything. So we just plan that she's coming and we are going to record some songs, and the songs is just planned when we're there. Of course, I know the song from before, and I think that was the first or the second take. We rarely do more than 2 takes, even though we haven't played the song together. It turned out very nice.
Yeah, didn't it? I thought so too.
Wise when see only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you.
Followed by Patsy Cline's "Crazy."
It's of course a very famous song. Also a wonderful vocal performance by Angelina. So I usually just listen to her and I follow her wherever she goes, her tempo, her feel. It's important to let her be in charge.
There's a moment, I just have a 10-second clip of that song. There's a moment where she just pauses between words, which just makes it so rich when she sings that line. It's all the little details which just make everything so rich.
Yeah.
Crazy, I'm crazy for feeling so lonely. I'm crazy for feeling so blue.
And then I have a clip of a relatively obscure song, "It Ain't Me." I believe this was recorded in Moscow. Yes?
Yeah. I think the song was just released. It's Kygo Selena Gomez song, but it has a very distinctive guitar kind of country part, and I like that. So I think I just started playing that, and she just started singing, and someone from the team started filming it, and it was just it was just there.
It was that spontaneous. It was that
Yeah.
spontaneous. Because
Yeah.
when I first heard that, I mean, to me, it sounds almost more like a folk song, almost like a Bob Dylan song.
Yeah, and it is. If you strip it down, it's just production with drums that makes it a pop song. If you take that away, it's a country song.
It's amazing how the different facets of the diamond, depending upon how you're looking at it.
I had a dream we were singing from the scene. I explored that rain and I was high enough. Somewhere along the line we stopped saying in my head now.
The next clip I play is the Whitney Houston "I Will Always Love You," and you know she does Whitney Houston ever so well.
That song was a really big song in Norway during the 90s. I think 94, 95, somewhere around that, maybe earlier. And yeah, I haven't heard her version in many years. I have heard Dolly Parton's version a couple of times in the past few years, and she wanted to sing that, and I was, of course, it's a pretty straightforward song. Let's do it. And that is also just the first and only take we did.
And I will always love you, and I will always love you.
The last two that I have are both again from the Brilliant Minds concert. She's wearing her blue outfit, and she does All of Me, the Billie Holiday version. And I think this is probably one of my favorite clips from this whole video, because the way she does her voice.
And All of Me is one of my favorite standard jazz songs.
Yeah.
I think I requested to do that song when we were warming up for the show, and it's kind of unique that you can just ask. I think Angelina was 11 or 12 years old. Ask an 11 or 12-year-old girl to sing a jazz standard, and she's just, yeah, I know that song, and we did it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the way she holds on to some of the words and individual words, how much feeling she could put into it, especially with that version.
Yeah, she has a great ear, and of course that song has been done by many great vocalists, singers, and I think she adapts the things she likes from every version, and then she adds a big portion of her own soul in it. And
I know.
All of me, why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I want to lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them. Yeah, goodbye left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on, dear, without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me? Liten slitsolo.
Sorry, I just have to find the right chords on the B part because I didn't have them.
Last but not least, at the Brilliant Minds in June of 2019, you and her do Bohemian Rhapsody.
yeah, or actually, I didn't remember until I saw the clip in the video, but yeah, it was also just something happened there. I don't know if I played the intro, or if she asked me if I knew the song or whatever, but it was very spontaneous. I can't say that with 100% certainty, but I don't think she had ever planned anything for the America's Got Talent show yet. It was just a song that she had recently discovered, because that is usually the case, that she discovers a song and then she wanna sing it. Yeah, so we did a short version of that, and she sings it very, very good. So Freddie would have been proud.
So really, you and her had no idea that that song would develop over the next few months. The way it's
No.
amazing, just totally amazing.
Mama, just kidding, man. We're gonna give him to say, pull my trigger now, he's dead. Mama, life has just begun. Gotta leave it all behind and face the truth. Mama, didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not picked back again this time tomorrow, carry on, carry on. Nothing really matters.
A lot of her fans had this very, very strong emotional reaction to her, and they have tears or goosebumps every time, even if they've heard the song 5 or 10 or 15 times. Now, is this something that you have heard before, or is this new to you? And do you have any idea of why this happens? Because for many, many of her fans, it's a mystery and they do not understand it at all. And I was wondering, from your perspective, from your understanding of music and everything, if you have any idea of what is going on.
That's the magic of music.
Well,
I believe that it's a combination of, she does a lot of songs that maybe people have connection with from their youth, and she's her magical voice, her way of singing the song, she puts a lot of herself in it. At the same time, there's you can hear a lot of her influences in her voice, and I think it's just a magical combination of her voice and of course her pickup songs.
yeah. And as my friend said, we Angelina Jordan fans don't think that Egil deserved the medal. We think he deserved a statue or two.